Here in the United States, the American people need to be ready to pay more because we are about to see another round of inflation. Today I'm going to break down what's going on. We're going to talk about the new reports that just came out today, and I want to give you a little bit of insight into what Hurricane Milton is potentially going to do to your wallet. Doesn't matter if you live in Florida, you live in Texas, you live in North Carolina, you live in North Dakota, or even Oregon. This is going to impact every single one of us. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So for many months, we were being told that inflation is coming down. Prices will come down. It will be less expensive to live. But that hasn't been the case. Yes, we did see the Federal Reserve come out and they lowered interest rates by 50 basis points a month ago. But what are they going to do moving forward? Well, it all depends on the reports that come out. Look what we just got today. It says the inflation rate is at 2.4% in September, topping expectations, and then jobless claims are the highest since August 2023. Well, what are jobless claims at this time? Well, look at this. It says U.S. jobless claims jump to 258,000, the most in more than a year, and analysts are pointing to Hurricane Helene. Now, what would a hurricane have to do with an increase in unemployment? Well, simple. If somebody lives in a hurricane area, let's say over in Florida, and the hurricane comes through and it takes out a, like say, Pizza Hut, right? Papa John's. The problem is if that restaurant or that business gets flooded, the business has to claim has to file an insurance claim, try to get all their goods or their equipment, their building, trying to get that fixed. The problem is all those workers that were working there will then go on unemployment. That is what these articles and experts are saying is the cause of the increase just in the past week, simply because we are right now seeing Hurricane Helene victims are now starting to file for unemployment. They're trying to, well, soon after Hurricane Milton passed, they will go and clean up their properties even more, and hopefully insurance adjusters will get out there and start fixing some of these issues. But we'll see. Now, here's the other problem. Currently, Hurricane Milton's damages are expected to be as high as $75 billion. This is from this morning, okay? Hurricane Milton did not have as much destruction as many people were anticipating. And it's because it changed its direction, that the Category 5 wasn't an issue. I think it made landfall at Category 3, which is good. The wind speeds were down. However, they still caused a lot of damage. Now, currently there's more than 3 million people without power due to Hurricane Helene. Governor Ron DeSantis said the state avoided its worst case scenario. And right now, Hurricane Milton is moving out into the Atlantic Ocean as a Category 1 hurricane. The only issue is there's some possibility of flooding as the water starts coming back. That is the problem, okay? So we could see additional flooding, which means additional damages, which means we could see additional inflation, all right? Keep that in mind as all these people go through this crisis of pretty much resupplying their pantries with food, putting a roof back over their house, right? Planting trees, putting siding back on, fixing the cars that were just damaged. It's going to increase costs, not just in that area, but for people all around the country. Because when people in Florida are paying more for lumber, guess what? It takes some of that lumber from our supply, moves it over to that state. Well, here's the problem. If we need it in Washington State or California or Texas, right, in Nevada, we can't get it. Or we have to pay a little bit more so that they bring it to us, right? Supply and demand here. Now let's look at some of these numbers. It says the Consumer Price Index, or the CPI, is a broad gauge measuring the cost of goods and services across the U.S. economy. Increased a seasonally adjusted 0.2% for the month, putting the annual inflation rate at 2.4%. It says both readings were 0.1% above the Dow Jones consensus. And it does go on to say the annual inflation rate was 0.1 percentage point lower than August and is the lowest since February 2021. Now, you can see from this graph right here where we're at today. We're at 2.4%. Okay, this is all items. Up here, you got all items excluding food and energy. All right. Now, here's the thing you need to look at the how much this has gone down. Okay, that's good. Now, the one thing I want to read you is where we're seeing the prices. Okay, here it is. It says much of the inflation increase, more than three quarter of the move higher, came from a 0.4% jump in food prices and a 0.2% gain in shelter costs. Remember what I just said. Okay, we are going to see prices increase because food has to be replenished. That just got wet over in Florida because of Hurricane Helene or Hurricane Milton. We have a lot of people that need to replace the siding missing on their house, or the shingles on their roof, right? Furniture that they lost during the storm. All right, we're going to see people coming back into the state. That means gas prices. Again, we haven't seen gas or delivered to the state for over a day, right? Been probably 2 days now. And so gas trucks are going to start coming in, when they can, and delivering gas and fuel, and people will start coming back. Again, it looks like a lot of people are traveling, but they're not. They're just trying to come back to their homes. So chances are, according to experts, we are going to see another increase to inflation next month. And again, we're about a month away from the next report, but the reason I bring this up, these are the things that we are waiting on. Okay, these are the things we're waiting on, because as soon as we get all these reports, then we're going to have an idea of what the Federal Reserve is going to do. Are they going to keep interest rates the same? Are they going to lower them? What are they going to do? Well, we're going to find that out very soon. But the reason why I wanted to bring this to your attention today is simple. So many people are waiting and wondering, when are prices coming down? And to be honest, I don't think prices are coming down. I think we are being taught and conditioned to accept the prices where they're at now. And I say this because I was talking to a friend of mine, and he had to leave the state of Florida. He lived a little bit north of Tampa, but he ended up leaving, him and his family. And he was saying that it's crazy what hotels are charging. But so he was paying about $480 a night for a hotel. They ended up staying in this hotel for, I think, 3 days. If they stayed a day, that would be the fourth day. But they are staying in this hotel, and it's northern Florida. But they're staying here, and he thought, it's crazy what people are charging. But when he went to this restaurant, paid $180 for a meal, right? He didn't think anything of it. He was just conditioned that price of the hotels, for something, so we'll probably pay about half that in food costs, right? No big deal. That's expensive. That's very expensive for a small family. And so I just bring this up because right now this is what's happening. People are being conditioned to accept the prices where they're currently at. Right? You go buy a bag of chips for $5, $6, $7. A gallon of milk for $4, $5. Right? You go get some steak, chicken, right? $7 a pound. It's crazy what people are willing to pay right now. But that's the world that we live in. So I just wanted to share these few things with you because, again, according to experts, Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton are going to have a put somewhat of a negative effect on our economy moving forward, because we're going to see them cause additional inflation. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how much over the next few weeks, but that is what we know as of today. So again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.